Every 3 minutes, an older person wakes up at night to urinate, losing precious hours of restorative sleep that are crucial for their health and longevity. If you're over 60 and get up several times a night to use the bathroom, you may be making simple mistakes that are undermining your quality of life and jeopardizing your independence. Recent studies show that 78% of older adults make at least one mistake before bed that increases their need to urinate at night. But today you'll learn exactly what you need to stop doing to get a full night's sleep. You may have already noticed how these constant interruptions leave you feeling tired the next day, irritable, and lacking the energy to live a full life. Perhaps you've started avoiding drinking water in the evening or even cancelled social events out of fear of not getting a full night's sleep. But you don't know that there are 5 seemingly harmless habits you probably do daily that are the real culprits in this situation. Today I'll reveal each of them and tell you how to easily and permanently fix them. Before I share these discoveries that can change your nights, I need your support. Like this post if you care about the quality of your life and want to wake up feeling rested every day. Subscribe to stay up to date on important tips that will forever change your sleep routine. Tell us in the comments how many times a night you have to get up to urinate. Your activity motivates us to continue research and share information that truly changes the lives of thousands of people. Every week, I receive hundreds of messages from people who have transformed their nights thanks to these tips. That's why we've created a special community of aging adults determined to reclaim the restorative sleep and energy they deserve. To become part of this family, simply subscribe. It's free and can be the first step to deep, fulfilling rest. Many people don't realize that frequent nighttime awakenings to urinate and void, known as nocturia, aren't just a natural inconvenience of aging. Nocturia is a signal that something is out of whack with your sleep patterns, and this disruption can have far more serious consequences than you think. Medical research shows that sleep fragmentation due to nocturia is directly linked to an increased risk of nocturnal falls, cardiovascular problems, cognitive decline, and even depression in older adults. When you have to get up several times a night, your body doesn't reach the deep stages of sleep, especially the REM phase, which is where memory consolidation and cellular regeneration occur. This means that, in addition to morning fatigue, you deprive your body of the healing and restoration processes that occur during deep sleep. Over time, chronic sleep deprivation accelerates aging, weakens the immune system, and reduces concentration and decision-making. But here's good news that will change your perspective. In most cases, nocturia in the elderly is not caused by complex medical problems, but by specific habits that are easily corrected. Over decades of research in sleep medicine and geriatric urology, we have identified 5 behavioral factors whose elimination significantly reduces or completely eliminates the need to get up at night to use the bathroom. Each of these strategies is based on sound scientific data and has already helped thousands of people achieve impressive results. Bad habit number 1. Drinking fluids 3 hours before bed. You may think this is obvious, but in fact it's much more complex and surprising. Most people limit only water before bed, but continue to consume foods and drinks containing hidden water, which further interfere with sleep. An amazing process occurs in your body. When you drink fluids in the last 3 hours before bed, your kidneys continue to process them precisely when they should be reducing urine production. Furthermore, many older people don't notice that soups, fruits with a high water content, such as watermelon and cantaloupe, hot drinks, such as teas, and even some medications contain a significant amount of fluid, which accumulates in the bladder at night. Meet the inspiring story of Margaret, a 70-year-old Phoenix, Arizona resident who for years woke up 4 or 5 times a night to urinate. She tried everything, cutting down on water, taking medications, and even considering surgery. Margaret said, "I was desperate, my sleep was ruined, and I felt like a prisoner of my own bladder." One day, she discovered that her cup of chamomile tea before bed and her bowl of soup for dinner were contributing far more to the problem than she thought. After implementing the full set of recommendations I'm about to share, Margaret was able to reduce her nighttime trips to the bathroom to once in just 2 weeks. The benefits of correcting this habit go far beyond improving sleep. When you stop overloading your kidneys before bed, your body naturally produces more zapriacin, a hormone that concentrates urine and reduces its production at night. This means you urinate less, sleep more deeply, and wake up more rested, with more energy for important tasks. To practically and sustainably implement this change, set a curfew for fluid intake 3 hours before your usual bedtime. If you usually go to bed at 8 o'clock p.m., stop drinking any liquids at 5 o'clock p.m. This includes water, tea, coffee, juices, soups, fruits with a high water content, and even ice cream sticks. For those with limited mobility, keep a small supply of water by the bed in case of emergencies or for taking. Necessary medications. If you have diabetes or are taking medications that induce thirst, discuss with your doctor alternatives and ways to adjust your hydration regimen to drink more in the morning so that. Margaret said a few months later, "I can't believe something so simple has changed my life so much. I'm sleeping like I was 50 again, and my daytime energy has tripled. My grandchildren are amazed at my energy." Bad habit number 2 is eating dinner too late and consuming diuretic foods. 85% of older adults make this mistake, unaware that they are harming their sleep. Meal timing and the specific foods you eat in the evening directly affect the frequency of nighttime trips to the bathroom. When you eat dinner too close to bedtime, especially if the dish contains natural diuretics, you are essentially programming your bladder to fill up during the night. Foods such as tomatoes, cucumbers, onions, asparagus, watermelon, coffee, green tea, chocolate, and even some spices, such as parsley and cilantro, contain substances that stimulate urine production. The problem is compounded by the fact that many of these foods are considered healthy, so people consume them without realizing they are creating a vicious cycle of nocturia. The science behind this is fascinating. Your digestive system needs approximately 3-4 hours to completely digest food. During this process, especially when you lie down, digestion slows down and the diuretic substances in your food circulate in your body longer, prolonging their effect on the kidneys. Furthermore, high-sodium foods, which many older people consume in excess, cause the body to retain water during the day and release it precisely when you should be sleeping. Let me share with you the transformative story of Robert, a 68-year-old retiree from Tampa, Florida, who was a true night owl. When it came to food, Robert had a habit of eating dinner at 6 o'clock p.m. and often snacking at 4 o'clock p.m., always including fresh tomatoes, cucumbers, and green tea to improve digestion. He confessed to me, "I was waking up religiously at 1 o'clock a.m., 3 o'clock a.m., and 5 o'clock a.m. to urinate. I thought it was just my age, but I felt like a zombie during the day after he changed his dinner time to 6 o'clock p.m. and eliminated diuretic foods after 4 o'clock p.m. Robert experienced a radical change. In just 10 days, he began waking up only once a night, and after 3 weeks, he could sleep for 6 hours straight without interruption. The benefits of this change are profound and multifaceted. When you synchronize your mealtimes with your body's natural rhythm, you not only reduce nocturia, but also significantly improve the quality of your digestion, reduce gastroesophageal reflux, which can disrupt sleep, and allow your metabolism to work more efficiently at night. Many also report reduced morning puffiness and a feeling of lightness and energy upon waking. To put this strategy into practice, establish a rule of eating dinner at least 4 hours before bedtime, preferably between 16 o'clock and 18 o'clock. Create a list of foods that promote good nighttime sleep and a list of foods that are bad for a good night's sleep. Friends include lean meats, rice, sweet potatoes, bananas, oatmeal, and vegetables such as broccoli and carrots. Enemies include all the previously mentioned foods, as well as alcoholic beverages, which initially cause drowsiness but then lead to frequent awakenings. If you have time restrictions or are taking medications that need to be taken with food, discuss with your doctor how to adjust your regimen without compromising your treatment. Robert recently told me, "I've completely changed my relationship with food and sleep. Now I dine like a king in 1800 and sleep like a baby. My wife is impressed and I feel 10 years younger." Bad habit number 3 is going to the bathroom just in case before bed. This habit may seem like a smart strategy, but in fact it is one of the most dangerous traps that keeps older people in the nocturia cycle. When you go to the bathroom just in case, even if you don't feel the need, you train your bladder to work with a smaller volume and create a pattern that continues throughout the night. Most people don't realize that the bladder is a highly adaptive muscular organ that urgency is based on repetitive behavior. When you constantly empty it before it is truly full, you essentially teach your bladder that it doesn't need to expand to effectively store urine. Over time, this significantly reduces the functional capacity of the bladder, causing it to send urgency signals even with a small amount of urine. The physiology of this process is complex but fascinating. A healthy adult bladder can comfortably store 300 to 500 milliliters of urine before sending an urgent signal to the brain. However, if you develop the habit of going to the toilet just in case, your bladder may begin sending these signals as early as 100150 ml, creating a false sense of urgency that interrupts your sleep even when there is no physiological need. Meet the heartfelt story of Dorothy, a 74-year-old widow from Seattle, Washington, who developed a so-called bedtime safety ritual. Dorothy explained it to me. Every night, even when I didn't feel the need, I went to the bathroom to make sure. I thought I was being smart, but I ended up creating a monster. Dorothy would wake up after just 2 hours with a full bladder, when in fact she had trained her body to work with a reduced capacity. After using the bladder retraining technique I'm about to share with you, Dorothy gradually increased her storage capacity and now regularly sleeps for 5-6 hours at a time. The benefits of breaking this cycle are amazing and appear quickly. When you allow your bladder to return to its natural capacity, you not only significantly reduce nocturia, but also restore confidence in self-control, reduce sleep-related anxiety, and significantly improve the quality of your night's rest. Many also report a renewed sense of autonomy and control over their body. To safely and effectively implement this change, begin by practicing the rules of true urgency. Go to the toilet before bed only if you truly feel a clear and unambiguous need. If you don't feel the need but are anxious, try distracting yourself for 15-20 minutes by engaging in a relaxing activity such as reading or listening to calm music. In most cases, you will discover that the need was simply anxiety. If you have a history of incontinence or are taking diuretics, discuss with your doctor the best retraining protocol for your situation. For people with limited mobility, consider keeping a portable urine bag next to the bed for real emergencies, but avoid using it just in case. Dorothy told me a few months later, "I can't believe I created my own problem. Now I have complete confidence that my body knows what it's doing. And I sleep much better knowing I'm not a slave to my own anxiety." Bad habit number 4 is sleeping in the wrong position and using the wrong pillows. This is a revolutionary discovery that few health professionals know about. Your sleeping position and the placement of your pillows directly affect the cleanliness of your nighttime toilet visits. Most older people sleep in a way that inadvertently puts extra pressure on the bladder and impairs circulation, which affects the normal functioning of the urinary system. When you sleep on your stomach or in positions that compress your abdomen, you create direct physical pressure on the bladder, which can cause it to send signals of fullness, even if it's not full. Furthermore, poorly positioned pillows can affect circulation and venous return, causing fluid accumulated in the legs during the day to be redistributed into the circulatory system at night, which increases urine production. Just when you should be sleeping, the biomechanics of this process is impressive. Sleeping on your side with a pillow between your legs and maintaining your spine in the correct alignment allows the bladder to assume its natural position without external pressure. Furthermore, this position improves venous return, reducing the accumulation of fluid that needs to be eliminated at night. Recent studies show that people who sleep in the correct position can reduce nocturnal urination by up to 40%, just thanks to this simple change. Let me share the powerful story of Frank, a former military officer, class of 1971, from Denver, MD, Colorado, who always slept on his stomach, finding it more comfortable. Frank told me, "I served in the army for 30 years and always slept this way. I never thought my sleeping position could be causing my nighttime problems." He was waking up consistently 3 times a night and was seriously considering seeing a urologist to check for possible prostate problems after learning about the connection between sleeping position and nighttime urination. Frank gradually switched to sleeping on his side with a pillow between his legs. Within 2 weeks, he had reduced his nighttime trips to the bathroom to once or twice, and after a month, some of them.